everybody. Welcome to Kitchen Flavors with Merla, where I'm going to be making a very yummy salad. It's called So Good Quinoa Salad. So it's got a nutty taste to it. So I thought it would be a really cool side dish to make. As I had mentioned earlier, for the month of May, I'm going to be making some side dishes and sharing them with you every Wednesday at 4 o'clock for the month of May. Last month we did some soups, so if you want to scroll back and have a look at those, that would be great. So if you've caught me live today, or if you are watching the replay on this, please feel free to give me a shout out in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. It's always kind of cool to see where everybody's from, and I always like getting back to you afterwards. It's nice to connect. So thanks so much for joining me today. It's sunny here in Brandon, Manitoba. So if we've not met before, my name is Merla Kruger, and here on my business page, I teach women to do some cooking, and men, cooking and baking with some really healthy, quality organic spices and extracts and some other natural products to make like some easy, convenient meals, snacks, entrees, side dishes, sometimes desserts, sometimes drinks, whatever. So today it's going to be a side dish. So yeah, and I struggle in the kitchen. So I created this page because I'm part of a direct sales company that offers a lot of these spices and extracts. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to bring you guys along on my journey of how to use them and to make life a little more interesting and fun in my kitchen. So maybe we can do it together. So that's partly why I started the page a few years ago, I guess now. So anyway, so thanks a lot for joining me here. So like I said, we're going to make, it's called So Good Quinoa Salad. That's what I called it. I actually found a recipe online and then I adapted it and changed it to make it my own. So I gave it my own name, So Good Quinoa Salad. Now, quinoa is pretty awesome to use. I like it in a lot of different ways. I've used it at different times for just a side dish on its own, like just with butter and salt and pepper with a meal. So it's kind of cool that you can actually use it in a salad too. It's really got high protein in it, so which is really nice, and it's gluten-free, so that's nice for people that struggle with that, to be gluten intolerant. Plant-based, it's got lots of good nutrients in it that can fight inflammation and that can help you with other things like your gut health. I do have some notes here that I like to check once in a while, so if I'm looking down, you'll know why. It's got magnesium, potassium. Like I said, it's great for your gut health. It's good for your heart. So quinoa is a nice one to use. And then of course, we've got lots of other good vegetables that we're going to put in it. So they have lots of great nutrients too. So have you ever tried a quinoa salad? Please let me know in the comments. I'd like to know. That'd be great. And then lots of really nice organic spices that we're going to add. You can add your own herbs if you wish. I'm choosing to add the dried spices that I have, the dried herbs. So for today, in the summertime, I do use them, the fresh ones, of course, more from my garden. I usually grow basil and I grow parsley and whatnot. But for these months, a lot of times I just choose to use the dried ones, but that's totally up to you. So yeah, so let me know if you've tried a quinoa salad, or what are some of your favorite salads. I'd love to hear back from you. Okay, so let's just go through the kind of basically what you're going to need. So you're going to need a cup of uncooked quinoa, and you'll boil it in a couple of cups of water, an English cucumber, some grated carrot, one bok choy, the baby bok choy, and some bell pepper. I'm choosing yellow. You can choose whatever you wish. Chickpeas, 1 can of 15-ounce chickpeas, or you could cook your chickpeas if you buy the dried ones, whatever. And some nuts of your choice. I'm using walnuts today, but you could choose almonds or pine nuts, whatever you wish. Pecans if you wish, and some nuts of some kind, or seeds, pardon me. I'm choosing to use sunflower seeds today. You could use pumpkin seeds, you could use sesame seeds, whatever. And then some dried fruit or fresh fruit. I'm using some blueberries that I bought yesterday, so I'm going to use those up. You could use raisins, you could use dried cranberries, anything like that, dried apricots chopped up. It only called for 1/4 cup, but I'm adding 1/2 cup to mine. And so that's kind of about it. And then your spices and herbs or whatever you choose. And then to make your dressing, you're going to need apple cider vinegar, your extra virgin olive oil, or you could use avocado oil if you wish, whatever kind of oil you usually make your salads with. Some maple syrup or honey. I'm choosing maple syrup. Dijon mustard. It always adds a nice kick to a dressing. Your black pepper, sea salt. It sounds so yummy, I can hardly wait. And then I'm adding actually organic pure lemon extract to the dressing, which makes it kind of interesting. If you wish, you could use, of course, fresh lemon juice. Did you know that you can use lemon extract to substitute? So some people maybe wouldn't have realized that. So I had lots of this on hand, so I like to use my extracts in that way, and it is pure lemon, so it's just very concentrated. So it's kind of cool. So let's just get started. To make things go a little bit quicker, I actually already cooked my quinoa. So 2 cups of water, and before you put it in the boiling water, it's a really good idea to drain the quinoa, or to rinse it and drain it. So rinse it twice. It gets off that extra film that's on the quinoa, and it makes the quinoa so much more fluffy when you put it in your salad. So I always actually do that with my quinoa. So yeah, so make sure you do that, and then bring the water to a boil with the quinoa in it, and then just let it simmer for I let mine simmer for about 15 minutes on low, uncovered. And then once it's cooked and you actually have the water's all soaked up, then you put the lid on and just let it sit again for about 5 or 10 minutes, so it's nice and fluffy. So that's our first step. And you know what, I forgot to grab a spoon, so I'm going to do that now. Sorry about that. Grab a nice big spoon out of the drawer there. So you just get a nice big bowl. We're going to add our quinoa to that first. I'm thinking this might not be a big enough bowl. I thought I grabbed the biggest bowl that I had. But anyways, we'll make it fit. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to chop up our, move things around a little bit here. Chop up our veggies. So I've got my 1/2 English cucumber. I guess you could use another kind of cucumber too if you want, but so chop that up and we'll add that in. It makes about a cup. About, if you do 1/2 cup of, or 1/2 medium, English cucumber, then it gives you about a cup of chopped. So. It's kind of nice to use this. You could actually have this as a side dish, but because of the protein that's in the quinoa, you could actually use it as a main dish, like for lunch or whatever, because it's got the protein, right? So that's kind of cool. Okay, and then we're going to add our bell pepper. I chose the yellow one because it's sweeter. I like that. So chop it up fairly fine. I'm kind of on a kick right now. I'm trying to eat as clean as possible. So lots of vegetables. I'm not on a total detox, but I'm kind of on a kick of just trying to lose a bit of weight and stuff, so this salad's going to come in handy for that. Okay, there we go. The colors are so pretty. And then we're going to chop up the bok choy. I was talking to a friend, and she saw where I actually, this is leftover bok choy from something I made the other night, and I actually just put it in a pan with garlic and oil and cooked it up. But you can actually, like I'm doing now, you don't have to cook it. You can just use it like a cabbage. And she said, oh, she'd never tried that before, to actually just eat bok choy without cooking it. Makes a very nice, nutritious salad. So, here we go. So, probably gives you about 2 cups. This might be a little shy of 2 cups. Let's see here. Measure it out. Let's see. Yeah, it's about right, I think. Yeah. So 1 baby bok choy works out to about 2 cups. My bowl's getting really full. I didn't plan that too good. I always bring out this really big glass bowl that I have, and my husband always says, like, do we need a bowl that big? But it's nice to have leftovers. Okay, so there we go with that. And here's my grated carrot. And my blueberries. And sunflower seeds, right. And we've got our walnuts. You know what, this bowl is not big enough. Here I am doing my live and I don't have a big enough bowl. That's too funny, actually. So I'm going to grab a bigger bowl. 1 sec. It's not going to be as pretty, but we'll do it in there because it's bigger and I can toss it really well in there. So bear with me here. Oh yeah, that's going to work great. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, and then we're going to add our chickpeas. So like I said, 1 15-ounce can. Don't need the rest of that bok choy, so we'll put it away. Okay, so that's everything. And then we're going to make the dressing. Oh wow, that looks good. See? There you go. Get this out of the way. Okay, so the dressing, you need 1/4 cup of your extra virgin olive oil or your avocado oil. What kind of oil is your favorite to use for a dressing? For dressings, like I like the extra virgin olive oil, but I just recently bought the avocado oil because I wanted to give it a try because I've never really used it. And then I'm going to use some organic apple cider vinegar. I've said this on before on my page. I know I talk about in my banner that trying to do organic, but sometimes it's just not possible, and some things are so expensive. So I try to keep it natural and local as much as possible, but I did find the organic apple cider vinegar, and it was actually pretty good price at Costco. So 1/4 cup of that as well in there. Okay, and then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to buy local stuff that's made in the country that I live. So I try to do that. So 1 teaspoon of the Dijon mustard. I realized before, bang, 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 eh? I realized that when I was doing these lives, maybe you guys have noticed that when I bang my utensils, it's quite loud and probably it's hard on your ears. Okay, and then 1/2 teaspoon of your honey or maple syrup. So that goes in there. And then we're going to do the sea salt. I don't have. Okay, so here we go. So 1/2 teaspoon of that. And then of course you can, you know, add the salt and pepper how you want. Like if you want more, go for it. Black pepper, it's saying 1/4 teaspoon. And if you have any interest in any of the spices and whatnot that I'm talking about here, I'm with a direct sales company that offers a lot of spices, organic spices and extracts, like I said before. So if you have any interest at all, please reach out to me, because the spices and that are super amazing and I just love them all. So there's so many to choose from. So, and we have a business component to the company as well. So if you want to do a little side gig, you can contact me. That would be great. Okay, so 1/4 teaspoon of the pepper. And then we're going to add, I'm just going to add a capful of the really concentrated organic lemon juice to that. And then we want to add, now it doesn't really say how much for the spices, but it kind of says a 1/2 cup of the fresh herbs. So I'm just gonna shake in a little bit of the 3 that I've got, because I'm using the dried herbs, right? And then probably when I put it all together, I'll give it a taste, and if I want to add more, I can. So yeah, so I'm using cilantro, which I realize is some people either love it or you hate it. So that's kind of it, and we'll just give that a stir with the spices now. Sorry, I wish I'd had the pretty clear bowl. I should have used that one. It's so big, but this makes a huge salad. So, and then we're just gonna whip up our dressing here. Just have to grab my little tiny whisk that I like to use for that. I think I've got everything in there. Just let me double check. Yeah, so it's a really interesting salad. It's got so many flavors and textures happening that it gives a really nice side dish, and even a full meal, really, when you think about it. Okay, pour that over there. Super easy to make, right? Just start chopping up your veggies, add your nice dressing to that. So let me know if you're going to try it, and if you like it. And if you would like the recipe, please comment recipe below, and I can send a printable PDF to you. So yeah, I'd love to do that. So I'm going to give it a taste here. It's going to be interesting with the blueberries in there. Oh my, that's so good. It's really good. So thanks everybody for joining me. I appreciate it. Take care. We'll see you next week with a different side dish. Bye for now.